Hello and welcome to Hemlock. My name is Dylan. I created Hemlock and today I'm going to show you how to start using it. Hemlock is a Python framework for creating surveys and behavioral experiments with applications in marketing, behavioral economics, and other fields in social science. Because Hemlock is a Python framework, it allows you to easily use cutting-edge experimental techniques like adaptive experimentation and interactive machine learning. In the next 10 minutes, we're going to create a new Hemlock project, edit our survey, test our code, and deploy our application online so we can send it to our survey participants, all without downloading or installing any software. The first thing you'll need to do is sign up for GitHub. So if you don't already have a GitHub account, go to github.com and sign up for an account. GitHub is a cloud-based service for storing and managing code. You can think of it like Dropbox for coding projects known as repositories. Once you have a GitHub account, we're going to create a new repository based on the Hemlock template. So we're going to go to github.com/dsbowen/hemlock-templates/generate. We're going to give our repository a name, like Hemlock Test, and click Create Repository from Template. Now that we've created our repository, it's time to edit our code. If you don't have Python installed, what you should do is copy the URL from the repository. Open up a new tab and type gitpod.io/#, then paste the URL of the repository. Gitpod is a cloud-based service for editing and testing code. You can think of it like editing a Word document from within Dropbox. If you already have Git and Python installed on your computer, instead, what you can do is clone the new Hemlock repository that you just created and edit your survey from there. So what we can see in the terminal at the bottom of the screen is that Gitpod is installing all of the Python packages that we need to start using Hemlock. Once Gitpod has installed all of the Python packages, it's going to open up our main survey file called init. It's also going to run our survey that's specified by this file. You can see that right now, our survey contains 2 pages. Page 0 contains a label saying Hello World. Page 1 contains a label saying Goodbye World with a back button. So if we go forward, we see Goodbye World, and back we see Hello World. We're going to stop running the survey by clicking on our terminal and then entering Control-C. Now we're going to edit our survey to make a simple survey where we ask the user for their name, and then on the next page, we greet them by saying, "Hello, username." Don't worry about understanding what this code does right now. We're going to cover that and much more in the Hemlock tutorial later. Once we've edited our survey file, we're going to run the survey again by entering Python app.py in the terminal. That's going to automatically open our new survey in the simple browser. So if I enter my name as Socrates, we see that on the next page it says, "Hello, Socrates." Now we've stored that name in a variable called name. The way I can download the data from Gitpod is to copy the URL from the simple browser, open a new tab, paste the URL, and then type /admin-status. That's going to bring me to the admin dashboard, which shows me the current status of all of the users. Then I'm going to click download. When I open the file that we've downloaded, we can see that there is a column called name with an entry that says Socrates. Once we're done previewing our survey, we're going to test our code by typing make test. This command is going to run 100 fake users through our survey. The fake users enter random responses to all of the questions that we ask them, and it's a terrific way to catch and fix bugs in your code before you deploy your survey and send it to your participants. Congratulations, our test passed. We can also see a code coverage summary printed out at the bottom of the output. Ideally, what we want to see is that all of the statements in our code have been covered. That is, all of them have been reached by at least one of our survey participants. And indeed, what we see is that we have 100% code coverage. For a more detailed code coverage report, we can type make test serve. This is going to open a more detailed code coverage report in our simple browser. And when we click on our code file, we can see that every statement in our main survey file has been tested by our unit tests. Now that we've tested our code, it's time to deploy our application online so that we can send it to participants. To do this, first, we need to save the changes that we've made in our Gitpod workspace to our GitHub repository. The way to do this is in the terminal, type git add dot. Git add tells Git which files changes are going to be added to the GitHub repository. The period means add all of the changes to all of the files in this repository. Then we're going to type git commit. This is the command that actually saves the files. You always need to add a commit message with -m, and we'll give our commit a name. Then finally, we're going to push the changes from our Gitpod workspace to our GitHub repository by typing git push origin master. Now, when we go back to our repository, we can see that we have one commit. If we refresh it, when we refresh the repository, we see that it now has two commits. To get our survey online, we're going to scroll to the bottom of the page and click Deploy to Heroku. If you don't already have a Heroku account, you'll be prompted to create one here. Now we're going to give our application a name, like Hemlock test. You're going to change the password to protect the data and click Deploy App. Now just sit back and wait a couple of minutes while Heroku builds your application. Now we can see that Heroku has successfully deployed our application. We're going to click Manage App to go to the Heroku dashboard. We can see our app by clicking Open App and opening it in a new browser. As expected, we see it asking for our name. Let's type Play-Doh. And as expected, we see Hello Play-Doh. As we did in our survey preview, we're going to type /admin status. Now it's going to prompt us to log in. and we can see our user status. To download the data, click Download. When we open the data file, we can see that there is a column called Name with the entry Play-Doh. Congratulations on deploying your first Hemlock application. In this video, we've gone through creating a new Hemlock project, editing our code, testing our code, and deploying it online. If you want to learn more, check out the Hemlock tutorial. The way to do this is much like creating a new Hemlock project. You're going to go to github.com/dsbowen/hemlock-tutorial/generate. This is going to create a new repository based on the Hemlock tutorial. Give your repository name and click Create Repository. Once that's finished, you're going to copy the URL, go to a new tab, type gitpod.io/hashtag, and then paste the URL of the repository. And you'll see that we automatically open to the 0th module of the tutorial, Welcome to Hemlock. Throughout the tutorial, you're going to work through the modules in the tutorial folder on the left in the File Explorer. You're also going to edit a survey file, which is in Source, My Survey. Good luck, and thanks for using Hemlock.